Hello everyone, the Asset Stacker. Today is Friday, August the 2nd. I appreciate you watching the video. This is actually going to be the video where we are going to actually be able to give away the very first of these bars. This is the American Reserve, the Goddess bar, put out by Asahi. And if you saw the video that I did a couple of days ago, these finally made it in the mail, and ordered these from Monument Metals, and it's a wonderful product. And Monument, I have ordered from them quite a few times this year, and I have really been pleased with the products that I've been getting from them. So we are going to be giving this away, and as you know, on my giveaways, I usually have about a 3-part comment that you need to put in the comment section, and this video that you're watching right now is going to be the comment video. So just to go ahead and get the first piece out of the way, the first piece of information you need to put in your comment is the word Matthew. As you know, I use Bible verses a lot of times to see who actually is watching the videos and who's just trying to get a free piece of silver. So the first piece for this week is going to be Matthew. So what we're going to do today is August the 2nd. Posted this video today. Today is Friday, August the 2nd, and I am going to be picking a winner from this video out of the comment sections on Monday, August the 5th. So we're going to let this go through the weekend and see how that does for you guys. Real quick, before I get into the rest of this, I want to kind of talk about some things that happened this week, and I actually had a lot of fun. Yesterday, which was Thursday, met up with Southeast Stacker. He and I decided to go. We'd been talking about this for a couple of weeks about possibly going down to, or going over to Dalton, Georgia, and going to a coin show that they have, and it's actually still going this weekend. Thursday was the first day that it was open to the public, and so we made the decision to go ahead and check that out. I've only been to one other coin show, which was the one I posted a video on a couple of weeks ago, down in Birmingham, Alabama, and I enjoyed it. Southeast has never been to a coin show, so we decided we were going to go check one out. So we went to Dalton, which was quite a bit larger than the one that I went to a couple of weeks ago in Birmingham. I'm not certain how many tables they had. There were definitely a couple of hundred vendors set up at the Dalton show this weekend. So it was a lot of fun. And to be honest with you, there were so many tables. In the time that we spent there, and we were there for probably a good 3 to 4 hours, there was just no way to see everything and visit every booth. There was so much stuff, and you could really get lost in how much merchandise they had. So I did record just a little bit. I didn't get to record a whole lot. To be honest with you, like I said, I was so overwhelmed with how much product they had. I really just didn't take the time to do a lot of recording. I kind of went on a mission this particular one. Like I said, the one in Birmingham, I really didn't know what to expect because I'd never been to a show. And after that one, I thought, well, it kind of gave me an idea of what these shows were like. And I thought, well, I'm going to go, since this one is at the beginning of August, as you guys that watch my channel, you know that every month I have been purchasing fractional gold. And I have a goal of purchasing 3 1/10 ounce coins every month, and I divide that up between a 1/10 ounce Eagle, a Maple Leaf, and a Britannia. So I thought, since this is the beginning of the month, I was going to go ahead and, instead of looking at, I always order my gold online, and I've started that since January of this year. And I thought, well, since there's going to be a show, I will start with seeing if I can find a deal at these shows. I really didn't know how the pricing. I know you can negotiate with a lot of sellers, because when you're dealing with directly with someone one-on-one, you're, instead of dealing with a business, I mean, you're not going to, I enjoy buying from Monument Metals, and the other bullion dealers that I've bought from this year, but you don't get to negotiate the prices. It's just a listed price, and as far as I know, there's no negotiations on what you're paying. That's a little bit different when you're buying from someone directly. Sometimes you can bargain, sometimes they won't. So I thought I'd give it a try. So what I did was, before I left to go to the show, I pulled up, I did get online, and I wanted to find out what the cheapest 1/10 ounce I could find online for that morning, for yesterday morning. And I wrote it down on a piece of paper. So yesterday, before I left, the absolute cheapest that I saw for the gold 1/10 ounce Eagle was $273.90. For a maple leaf was $269.54, and the Britannia was $275. So that was the cheapest that I would have been able to buy it yesterday if I purchased it online. So with that information and with cash in hand, I thought, well, let's just go see what we can find. Aside from my 3 1/10 ounce gold, there's been a couple of pieces that I've been wanting, that I've seen some of the other stackers in our community that have displayed some pieces that I was interested in finding. There's one 1 ounce silver bar that I wanted in particular, that I did not see it at the Birmingham show. So I didn't know if it would be at the Dalton show, but I knew that the Dalton show was supposed to be larger. So I was hoping that it would be there. And so I'll start showing all that. But before I get into some of that, like I said, before I cut this out to show you a clip of some of the video that I did take, keep in mind that the first piece of the comment you need to put in for this segment was Matthew. So don't forget that in your comment, because you're going to have this key phrase in order to win one of these silver bars. And I am actually looking forward to giving these away. Like I said, I ordered 10 of these from Monument and loved the product that they sent. And, you know, like I said, it was on pre-order. I had to wait a little bit. But I did buy it on pre-order, and they sent me these bars, and I bought them just to specifically give them away. So, and on this design, Southeast and I was talking about this yesterday. I love, yeah, the front, I guess if you call this the front, this is a nice design, no doubt, but I love the leather look and the way that this looks on the back, and how the contrast between the textures and how everything stands out. It's beautiful. This is actually the favorite side of the bar for me. And there's been a couple of people in the comments of the video where I showed the opening of this package. Some of you guys even felt the same way. So I'm looking forward to you guys getting these. I know there's a lot of people that commented as like, hey, I love the look of that bar. And so I'm looking forward to giving these away. So this week we finally get to give the first one away. So what I'm going to do is real quick, I'm going to cut away from here. I'm going to cut in probably about 25 seconds, just to kind of give you a general idea of some of the stuff that was in some of these cases. Like I said, these tables were full, and this is the type of product that I would see when I would go. And so if you've never been, this is kind of what you expect from my experiences for the 2 times that I have been. You're going to find so much different variety of things. And this is just a quick example of that. All right, so as you can see, there's such a variety of different types of coins. There's some of these tables, of course, that deal in paper money. ancient coins, foreign coins. You will find a lot of early U.S. Coins from colonial periods. There's just so much amazing stuff that it's really, there's just no way to see everything in one day. But on the table that I think it was the same table that I just let you see a clip on, there was some gold, and I thought that I had recorded it, but I didn't. Now the guy that had this table, if it's the same table I'm thinking it is, because like I said, I did record a few different tables, but he is actually going to be the first table where I made my first purchase. And I had just made my way into this, and probably as far as not recording but looking, I had probably only looked at maybe 10 vendors, and they had great stuff. But this guy in particular, I could tell that he was kind of willing to maybe negotiate prices a little bit. And I saw, like I said, I took my little notes with me with my cash, and he had a maple leaf. And like I said, when I left the house, the cheapest maple that I was able to buy online across any of the dealers that I've seen was going to be $269.54. So just shy of $270. So when I went to his table, he had the 2021 1/10 ounce, and he already had it marked down. I guess previously he had been asking $300 for it. He had this marked down. Like I said, we got there probably 20 minutes after the doors opened to the public, and there were already a lot of people in there. So I'm assuming that either he had this marked at $300 because Wednesday, they were open to dealers. Other dealers could come in and view your table that you have set up, and y'all could swap out with each other. But there was also apparently that I did not know that they did this, but there was like you could pay $50, the public could, to have what they called like an early bird, I guess, like a pre-sale that they would do. If you wanted to buy a $50 ticket, you could have went before it was open to the general public, and you could have, I guess, just had the opportunity to take a look at what everybody had available, and I guess your chances of finding what you're looking for, if you're looking for something very specific, maybe you would want to do something like that. I don't know, but like I said, we just went into the general public sale, and he already had it marked down from $300 to $275. But like I said, I knew that I could get that cheaper online. So just through a little bit of talking with him, and he's a super nice guy. I did ask him, I was like, well, I said, what is the least that you would take for what's your bottom dollar on that? And he did come down to $265. And I could not remember exactly, because I did not look in my pocket at my note. I knew that I couldn't remember. I knew it was $260 something that I could get it online. So I looked and seen. I was looking around the rest of his stuff while I was kind of processing it, and I thought that the price he gave me was fair. But like I said, I didn't want to pull out that paper and look at it in front of him and say, no, I can get it cheaper somewhere else. I just knew that I could get one from my, remembering what I had written down. I knew it was going to be in the 260s. So I just asked him, I said, would you be willing to take $260 for it? And he kind of sat there for a second. He said, yeah. He said, I actually think that's fair. So I was actually able to pick this up for $260. And most of the time, you guys, I don't tell y'all what I pay for things. And the reason I don't usually tell that, it's not because I'm trying to be private about it. It's simply because I don't, what you pay for something, if you post that and I try to go get it, I may not find that deal. I may find it cheaper depending on what spot prices are for anything that we buy. I don't want to make you think that you can get something for a price that I do. You may find a better deal. Because like I said, this stuff changes all the time. But the reason why I'm telling you the prices in this video is because I learned some things from this event. And I really learned that, you know, I like buying online. It's got its pros, it's got its cons. But when these shows come available and you know that there's shows in your area that are coming up, you're probably going to be able to find better deals by buying from someone directly in the public than you're going to get from your online dealers. Like I said, the cheapest I saved almost $10 by buying this from the public. Now, there is a catch to that. If I'm buying from a bullion dealer, I really don't have to worry about, I don't have to worry about it being a fake. When you're buying from the public, you do have to be a little bit careful of that. But I also do have something that I purchased years ago because I buy things from the public all the time. And as you guys know, if you've watched my earlier videos, you would know that I actually purchased a lot of stuff when I started out off of Craigslist. So I needed ways to verify what I was buying. So I did get one of the Sigma metallistics. Boy, that's a fun word to say for me because I'm from the South. So that makes it a little bit more difficult. But this Sigma machine, I did test this when I got home. Obviously, I did not take this machine with me, but I could kind of tell that this was real. I didn't have a problem with that. And sure enough, I did test this, and it is real. Everything that I did purchase from the show, it all checked out. But I will show you how to check that out if you want me to in another video. Like I said, these machines are kind of pricey, but they are a lifesaver if you're going to be buying a lot from the public. And I highly recommend that you get one if that's what you're going to do. But that being said, I typically, even when I started buying from the bullion dealers, I still would, when I first started doing it especially, because I like to test everything that I put in my stack after I get it and get it in my hand. I want to test it before I consider it to be a good piece. And so I even tested the bullion dealer stuff. But anyway, that did check out. And like I said, I saved $10 by going to the sale. So unfortunately, he only had one of these. And he didn't have any other 1/10 ounce. He did not have a Britannia. He did not have a maple leaf. I mean, another maple leaf. And he did not have the American Eagle. So I did pick up the only one that he had left and moved on to another table. I did come back and talk to the man later on just because he was a wealth of information and actually very pleasant to talk to. He taught me a lot about some other things that I'm thinking about doing. But I want to take a quick minute and I'm going to give you the second piece of information that you need in the comment section for this bar. You got the first piece in the last clip. And so the next piece of information that you're going to need is the chapter. And the chapter number for this week's giveaway is going to be chapter 22. So that is going to be the second piece of information that you need. So this next clip is only about a minute long. I went to a table and they were located, I want to say wasn't quite in the middle of the venue. It was a little bit more towards the middle of the show, maybe at least a third of the way in, as far as from the angle and the direction that I went when I come into the show. So this table, man, they had a lot of good stuff. And as I said earlier in this video, there was a piece that I was wanting to find in the last show that I went to, and I could not find it there. They did not have it. None of the sellers had this piece. But I went to this table and I saw it. And I have only seen this one other time, and I actually saw this in an opening that was done from down south picking and stacking. If you guys haven't checked him out, go check him out. It's a great guy out of Tennessee. He does some great content, and he's close to the Nashville area. and he had gotten a 1 ounce silver bar that when I saw it, I thought, man, I see a lot of this type stuff, especially in the environment and climate that we're in. But this particular bar to me is probably the best looking bar that I've seen. And that is going to be this bar. So this is where people make a difference, 1 troy ounce, and it's got the American flag. But what I like is this side of the bar. And like I said, I have seen a lot of Trump type products that people are putting out, but this particular design is probably the best Trump bar that I've seen, the wanted poster. And like I said, not because it's a Trump, I just thought this was a great design. And I think that this is actually a limited production bar. And yes, it is a modern bar, but it's a limited production. And because of that, I was like, wow, this thing could one day be worth something. So this particular booth, I guess is what I'm trying to say, that was set up. Like I said, I didn't see the name of the people that was the sellers. I seen their booth. I saw this bar, and I did ask them. I said, "Do you care if I record?" And I found that a lot of people that I asked that to, for some reason, the coin show that I went to in Birmingham, I didn't get any resistance. Anytime I was wanting to record something, I could have recorded the whole event, it seems like. Most of the sellers were like, man, yeah, record whatever you want. For some reason, when I would ask people that at this particular show in Georgia, they just kind of, some of them would ask, well, what are you wanting to record for? And I guess I kind of understand. I'd have to tell them that I have a YouTube channel, and explain that I'm just trying to show people, some options that they have for buying and stuff like that. And I would just like to display, and I'd explain to them, I won't put any of your information out unless you want it out. And some people just still seemed kind of hesitant. Some of the sellers did, some of them didn't, but it was almost so uncomfortable for some of them that I did kind of get to where I just kind of quit asking. I recorded a couple, like I said, and, but this particular, table that I went to that had this bar, I was like, hey, I said, do you care? Cause they had some good stuff. I said, do you care if I, record this? And they're like, yeah, what's it for? And I explained to them that I did my little sales pitch of trying to get permission to record. And I was like, I'm a content creator and starting out content creator, and I'm trying to, make a video just to show people some options and stuff. And this lady was like, well, yeah, Joe, and I didn't know who she was talking about. Joe is actually been on YouTube for another channel. And I did not recognize this until after I had already seen the name of who they were. So I'm going to put in this clip, and some of you guys will recognize. As soon as I saw their business card, I recognized who they were. Because while I was getting ready to start recording, I did tell them, if you'll set a business card out, I'll be sure and record the name of your business, and put it in the video so that other people could reach out to you and know who you are if they see anything in here that they want to contact you for. Because like I said, this event in Dalton, Georgia is still going on all weekend long. So today is Friday, and it started yesterday. It's open all day today. It'll be open Saturday, and I think even Sunday. So, but I'll put in this video clip. So check this out right quick, and then I'll come back in.
Yeah, and we have a
Go ahead.
We have a store in St. Pete, Florida.
Okay, great.
Yeah, call. I didn't hear the text message, but I did.
Beantown Coins. I've heard of you guys.
Yeah, well, Joe actually did a interview with Spectacular too.
Yeah,
It was like an hour and 40 minutes. It was Spec's longest video.
Oh yeah.
But we've had people go, I've watched it 3 or 4 times. I'm just like, wow, okay.
Yep, I have seen the video. That's what I said. I recognize you guys.
Okay.
Did you film?
No, he's.
Oh.
I don't think he's gonna do Facebook.
Yeah, I'm not doing, unless you want to be on camera. I mean, it's up to you.
I put the card in there.
But I did get your
Yeah,
information.
we do. I mean, we will. Actually, I'd love to collaborate with you later because when we've actually released our channel, I want to do a lot of
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great.
A lot of other people. There's do you know Spectacular?
I do. The silver stackler.
Yeah. So,
He saw your video.
oh, you saw the video.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's what I said. I recognize your name. Since you showed your card, I was like, I know who you are.
Smart.
But yeah, that was great, man. We'll. All right, so I did not know that was, and I recognized as soon as I saw the name of their business card, I was like, I know you, and I could not quite exactly pick out why I knew who they were, but then of course it was from Spectacular, because a while back Spectacular had done a video on these guys, and she mentions that after I say, hey, I know who you guys are. And but yeah, I had seen the video that Spectacular had done, and I actually checked their online presence out back then when Spectacular had put out their video. So I had looked them up after that. That's the reason why I knew who they were. But super nice people, and like I said, they actually had this bar. Now, I had already purchased this bar by the time I started filming. I believe, or no, it was in a different case. But long story short, I saw this bar and I was like, do you, I asked them what the price of it was, and it was a $45 bar. And I mean, to me, that was a reasonable price because I have already been I could not find these online. After I saw that video from Down South Picking and Stacking, probably a month or two ago that he did the opening of it, I got online to see if I could find one. I thought that's a good looking bar. Of all the Trump bars that I've seen, Trump rounds, Trump this, Trump that, I didn't buy any of those because I didn't really like the way they looked. But that particular bar was the best looking Trump bar that I've ever seen. And I thought, well, it's a good looking bar, so I might as well get it. But I couldn't find one online. And then, like I said, I couldn't find one in the Birmingham show, and I wasn't sure, but I did go with an eye to find one of these, and I did buy. It was $45. It was the last bar that he had. He said he had done sold all of them. That, and like I said, the show had only been open for, by this point in time, probably had been there for a couple of hours. So the show had been open for, 3 hours maybe, and I don't know how many he started out with, but that was the last one that he had at that particular table, and I snatched it up. I went ahead and bought it. So, like I said, they were super nice people, and I did cut that video off in the middle of a conversation, so I guess you guys probably noticed that. And the reason why I did that is because Joe started talking about, he wanted me to send him a message and text him, and he was going to possibly see if there's something that we could do to do some kind of a collab maybe later on. And I just really didn't want to talk the business side of anything or any kind of information like that. I didn't really want to put in the video. So I just, when he started talking about stuff like about maybe us getting together and doing some content together, I didn't want to just put all that conversation in the video. So I just stopped recording. But they had a lot of great products in their booth, and I would say that their website's probably got some great products on it. I need to check them out again. But anyway, that was a great experience to actually know some of the sellers or recognize some of the sellers. There were some other sellers at this show that I recognized from the Birmingham show, and it was good to see some of them too. But all of that being said, I moved on to another table and continued my shopping for my gold. And I came up to a booth, and of course I would ask several people what their prices were. Every time I saw gold, I did ask what their prices were if they had the 1/10 ounce. And some people's prices were just way too high. I mean, it just is what it is. And most of them started out high because they expected that you was going to ask for a discount, I guess, because if you did ask for a discount or a cheaper price, they would come off of initial price, which is kind of what happens in negotiations. But I come up to this table and I thought, I got the maple leaf, and maybe that spoiled me a little bit, because when I walked away from picking up that maple, I thought, hey, if I could get American Eagle for $260, that would be great. Not realistic, but great. And so that was kind of my target. I thought, well, I'm going to try for something a little bit bigger. I'm going to try to see if I can negotiate down to a $260 price. And, most people, their bottom dollar that day, some of them's bottom dollar was like around $290. And I don't know why people are just so hooked on the maples. On the American Eagles. I know that it is American bullion and it's the most popular bullion in the world, but it's really ridiculous what the premium is on some of it. And so, like I said, there was a lot of them did come down to like $270. And that was actually a fair price, because if you look for that morning when I left the house yesterday morning, the cheapest I would have been able to buy it online was $273.90. So basically just under $275. So even at $270, I would have made a better purchase by buying it at this show. But it just, I wanted to see if I could find somebody down closer to the $260. And I come down to another table, and there was a guy that had a 2023, and he told me his bottom would have been, he did tell me originally when he asked, it was like 285. He would come down, or maybe it was 280, 275 or 280. I can't remember where he started on his prices. But I negotiated him down to, he got down to 265. When he come down, I believe, to 270, and I asked him for 260. And he was like, no, I can't do 260. He said, I'll go down to 265. And of course, his booth was like probably right in the center of the whole place. And there was half of this show that I haven't even seen yet. And it was still early, and I thought, well, let me look around and let me see if I can, get it for 260. And if I can't, then I'll come back by and see if you still have it. And he's like, that'll be fine with me. He's like, if that's fair. So he was nice about it. It wasn't a weird conversation. He understood. It's business, he's there to make money. I'm there to try to, buy the same product at the best price, and he's trying to sell it for the best price that he can. So, I go around and I look, and I'm, like I said, I've got Southeast Stacker with me, and we split up during the event. And shortly after that, I bumped into him, and he's already kind of made some of his purchases, and his leg is hurting him. He's getting kind of tired, and so I'm like, well, I was like, I'm going to just take a quick glance. So I kind of quit looking at a lot of the coins and a lot of the product that a lot of people had, and was specifically looking for people who had gold included with their merchandise that they had on their tables. And if I didn't see gold really quick, I would move on, trying to find as many people as I could to see if I could get the gold as cheap as possible. So I think I might have like one more clip, and it's a short clip of just another example of some of the products that's out there, but I don't think there's a whole lot in this particular video. I can't remember. So I'll piece it in right here, and then come back and we'll finish this video up, because it's getting kind of long.
As a matter of fact, in April, I'm on that table across the street there.
Oh, so you're already assigned for where you're going to be?
If I'm coming here 10, 12 years. I got the 2 cooling tables here by the processors.
Tell you what, he's got a lot of Benjis.
The full set right there.
Proof set.
The full set.
like somebody took a box of nails.
All right, so that video was actually after I'd already met up with Southeast Stacker, and you can hear him in the background of that video a little bit. But the reason I was recording that is because, like I said, real quick, there's a part of me that, like I said, I am a prepper stacker. If you had to label what type of stacking, what my stacking preference is, and what my goals, how that looks, if you put that on paper, I would be classified as a prepper stacker. I've stacked to prepare for whatever is to come. But there is a part of me that's a collector stacker as well. I don't feed that side of me a lot, but I do like to collect things. And I am actually thinking about, so the reason why I was recording a lot of that and actually looking some of that stuff over is because I'm actually thinking about putting together, on the collector side of things, putting together a complete set of either, I don't know if I want to do Franklin halves, and try to build a set that's like MS65 or greater, but doing a complete set of graded coins. And like I said, have a complete set of every date, every mint mark, and maybe even some varieties, if the more popular varieties, if there's any. But like I said, sticking with the lowest grade in that set being a MS63 or an MS65, somewhere in that range. So I was recording some of that because this guy had a lot of nice looking Benji halves. But like I said, I didn't buy anything off of his booth yet. Because the reason why is because I don't know yet if I want my first collector set of graded coins to be the Franklin halves, or if I actually want to do the Buffalo nickels, because it's a smaller set too. But it is harder to find Buffalo nickels in good grade because of their date being a raised date like they have. It's harder to find. They have a lot of design features that would become worn very easily because they're raised features. But either way, that's the reason why I recorded a lot of that. And this guy had some good looking Benjis. He even put together a couple of sets of a complete set of the proofs in that series. And of course, you saw the prices just for the proofs, and they were good looking coins. But you know, they can get kind of pricey to put this set together. But anyway, that's the kind of things you can find. There's so many different things you could do. So real quick, before we get going any further and before I close out this video and show you what my last purchase of the day, the last piece of information that you're going to need to pick up this bar on this week's giveaway is going to be verses 37 through 40. So that is the last of the 3 pieces of information that you need to qualify to win the very first of the Goddess bars that I'm going to be giving away. And like I said, the next 10 weeks, we're going to be giving these away. So keep an eye out. If you don't win this week, there's always going to be another video every Friday. Is the plan is to do it every Friday, consecutive weeks until we give all of these away. And I may enjoy it enough to do it again and just continue it to a 20-week process. Who knows? But anyway, I did, like I said, Southeast was getting his ready to go. We hadn't had anything to eat yet. It was well past lunchtime. It's time to get something to eat. And I kind of briefly went through and talked to a few more people. And I thought, you know what? When I looked at my cheat sheet on my prices for the morning, I got to thinking about it. I was like, $265. Why would I argue with that price? You know, why would I take the chance of not being able to pick that coin up because I let it sit there while I try to save $5 more? And maybe I could have, because like I said, there was so much there that I didn't even see. So I did go back to that seller. And this is probably maybe an hour, if that, later from when I talked to him last. and I looked in his case. It was still there. And so I asked him, I said, do you care to still sell that? Will you still sell that to me for $265? And he's like, yeah. So I gave him $265, and I picked up a 1/10 ounce American Eagle from the show, cheaper than I could buy it online. So that is the 3 pickups that I had. I did not get to pick up my Britannia for the month, and that's okay. It's the beginning of the month. I came back home with cash because I did not spend it all. I have I know about what it costs to buy 3. And actually, after I bought this bar, when I seen this bar, I was like, well, I'm probably not going to have enough cash to actually pick up 3 of these at the show. So I knew I was probably going to have to order one online. And you can typically find a Britannia that's closer to spot than online. You can. Obviously a whole lot closer, or a whole lot cheaper in the 1/10 on the Britannia than it is on the Eagle. So I made it my goal to try to find the Eagle. And like I said, the $265 was a great price, really. So I snatched it, and he didn't have any others, but there was a lot of people there that did. So if you get a chance to go to the Dalton show, by all means, go check it out. It's great fun. If you've never been to one of these coin shows, they are a blast. Be careful how much money you take, because you're going to have to be pretty disciplined, because you could spend a lot of money at one of these shows, because there's just so much bling. There's so much there that is going to catch your eye. And if you're a spontaneous type purchaser, be careful, because set yourself a limit. Go to one of these shows and have yourself a good time. You will be able, especially if you're comfortable with negotiating with people and asking for their best prices. I mean, just remember that typically when somebody is trying to sell you something and it's a one-on-one, person-to-person type, obviously if it's a business, or like, you're not going to go to Walmart and negotiate prices, even with a cashier. So, but when you're dealing with business owners, and that's what these guys are at these booths, they're just business owners. They've got them a little business. They're there to have fun, but they're there to make a little bit of money and have fun in the process. But they're gonna, most of them are going to negotiate with you. They know how it is, because they had to negotiate with somebody else that they bought the merchandise from to sell to you. So there's a back and forth, and it's fun. Don't be afraid to ask people what their bottom dollar is on something, and understand that sometimes what they give you as their bottom dollar is not really their bottom dollar. If they see the cash and they really want to sell, or they got something they're interested in buying from someone else, and they need a little extra cash to be able to do that, their bottom dollar may be a little bit lower than what you think it is. So you can definitely pick up some good product. Like I said, you also do have to worry about, make sure that the people seem to be reputable, the best you can, especially if you don't have a way to test the things that you're buying. I'm very familiar with this product, so I wasn't worried about buying it. And like I said, I did bring it home. I did run it across the Sigma machine, tested it out great. All 3 pieces didn't question it really to begin with, but like I said, I do check everything. So I guess this video is running kind of long. And by the way, like I said, if you guys want me to show you how to use one of the Sigma machines, by all means, let me know in a comment. I'll be glad to put out a video on that, especially for the series that I was doing before, new to stacking. If for some new stackers out there, and you guys are looking for ways to verify, then yeah, the verifier that I have is it's a little pricey, but it will save you a lot of money in the long run, especially if you're buying expensive products. Like this is not an expensive product compared to gold, obviously. So, but either way, I still want to test my bars. So I don't want to even give you something that's not legit. I don't want to tell you that I'm giving you a giveaway and you're going to win a silver bar and you get it and it's not silver. So that would just make me feel bad. So like I said, I like to know that what I have is actually what I bought. And So I do test everything, but like I said, I can do a video on that if you guys are interested or need any kind of knowledge or information on that. But I do appreciate you watching. Like I said, leave a comment in this video. We're going to give this one of these bars away on Monday. And so you got 2 or 3 days to leave your comment, but make sure that you put in your comment those 3 pieces of information that I need you to put in that comment. And one of you guys are going to win one of these. So I'm looking forward to seeing who the first winner is. I do appreciate you watching. Remember, you build your wealth one asset at a time. So keep stacking.